Denzel Siggers underwent life-changing lengthening surgery, going from 5'5" to 6 feet tall. He says the process has been painful, but worth it.
Welcome back to the Labor Lounge. I appreciate you all for continuing to rock with me. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, hit the like button if you've been around, and let's get the conversation started. We've come a long way when it comes to medicine. We're doing elective surgeries like there's no tomorrow. It's fascinating that we can go to a doctor and say, I'm not happy with this and I want to fix it. And just like that, they can come up with a game plan and you could do what it is you got to do. Today, we're going to look at a young man who decided that, he wanted to be a little bit taller. He was standing at 5'5". He had elective surgery to get taller, and now he's standing at just over 6 feet. It's absolutely amazing what they could do with medicine. But my questions is, how do you do this surgery? Two, what are the long-term effects of having a surgery when you listen to some of the details that you got to go through to have this type of surgery? So we're going to go ahead. We'll look at the interview that he did with Fox Houston, and we'll have our conversation about it.
And man, you have been making the news in Atlanta and around the country. Congratulations. What is that, 7 inches taller?
Yes, sir.
So I assume it's always been your dream. You started out at 5'5". Now you're 6 feet tall.
Yes.
It has always been your dream to be taller. Why?
Absolutely. So as a kid, I was actually a taller kid than the rest of the kids around me because I hit my growth spurt very early.
Mm-hmm.
But around like 13, everyone else started to shoot up. And then I noticed that I was like getting shorter than everyone else, but I still didn't realize I was short until like
you're like, God, what's going on here?
So I still didn't realize I was short until I was actually a friend or a girl that I was trying to talk to came up to me with her friend, and they were doing a trend back in whatever year it was when I was about 15, and they were telling men why they wouldn't date them. And my reason was, they was like, oh, if you were taller and older. And I was like, that's when I really realized I was short, because then I started looking at everybody else's height, and I was like, okay, I am a short guy.
But to have the girls tell you if you were taller, if you were only taller, that had to have a lasting impact on you.
So it did, but I ended up getting with that chick at some point anyway. But yeah, she was all talk. But
he ended up getting with the chick anyway, but seems like she had enough impact for you to hold on to this later on in life, because you ended up having this elective surgery.
No, it definitely, as a man, like, so I've actually been pretty successful with women, but I will say I had insecurities about my height either way, and I always felt like I could have been much more successful as a taller man, but I wanted to look better, feel better. Several different reasons that I did it.
And apparently you started doing the research and realized you can get taller through surgery.
Absolutely. As soon as I found it, I booked my appointment the same day.
Wow. And it's pretty expensive. I think it's what, 80,000 in Turkey where you went, and 150,000 here in America.
Absolutely.
Did you feel like you were taking any chances? Because many people are like, if you go to another country, it may not be as good as America.
So yes, I was terrified, mainly because I was going to another country, but I took the risk. I prayed on it. I took the risk because in America, they can only give me 5 inches. So I would only be 5'10". And that's with 2 surgeries, which would have cost me 150,000. And they don't have a rehabilitation center. The place that I went is the only facility in the world as of right now that has a rehabilitation center that is with you from start to finish. And I was able to do the surgery there and get 7 inches rather than 5.
And was it one surgery or was it 2 surgeries?
I did 2.
2 surgeries.
So first I did my upper leg, then I did my lower leg. So all 6 bones in my leg are broken right now.
Oh, listen to that. All 6 bones in his legs are broken right now. So from my understanding, what I gather, the process of this surgery is to break the bones in the legs, and they install a device that you extend over a period of time. Now, he ended up going over, I want to think he said Turkey to have this surgery done because they have the rehab that comes along with the surgery, and he was also able to gather more inches with the surgery over there versus doing it in America where he was only able to get 5 inches. But just the thought of that process of breaking your bones, extending those bones with the device that they hook up to your legs sounds painful, excruciating, if I'm saying that correctly. I just don't think mentally I would be able to overcome the thought that they're going to break my bones and then not really know what the other side of this surgery is going to look like.
And so you were there. How long were you there for the surgery and your rehabilitation?
I was there 6 months.
Okay. And you said all the bones in my legs are broken. Are they currently broken?
Yes,
and how long does it take to heal?
It takes about, so the new bone has to grow in. It takes about 6 months to a year. My upper leg, since I did that surgery first, is healing very well. The bone is recovering very well. The lower leg, because I did it second, is still under its recovery period. But my bone healing is going amazing.
Do you ever get nervous, like, please don't let anything go wrong with this?
I do, but I choose not to think about it. I think you have to stay positive, and I believe that I'm one of those people that believe God will guide me through anything.
Now, I have heard in researching this in the past, because there have been other individuals to get it done, and what we heard was that it was extremely painful. Is that the case?
Absolutely. The worst pain I've been through.
See, and that's the part right there, what I was just talking about. He says it's the worst pain that he's been through, but you elected to do this. That right there is just hard for me to wrap my head around. I can't see myself electing to do something that's going to be painful to the way that he's describing it. If it's the most painful thing you've been through, I don't know. He didn't say how old he is today, but I'm assuming he's over 18 because he has to be an adult to get this. I mean, there's a lot of things you go through. If this is the most painful and you've been there for 6 months, so is it painful every day? That's a lot. That's a lot.
Did you have like a tear coming down as a result of the pain?
When you get it, initially they put you to sleep, but once you wake up, you feel most of the pain. They put you on very strong pain medication after they make sure that you're okay, you're stable, so you wait a little while before you get it. I've never really been the crying type. I don't really know how, so it was difficult for me to express that I was in pain. And while I was in the military, I was always taught like just to suck it up. So I never told them I was in pain. I would just laugh to hide the pain.
And when you were able to stand up and see that additional height, what was that like for you?
It was unreal at first. Like, it's kind of like a growth spurt. So at first you don't notice it. Like you don't notice it. You feel like you're the same height, even though it was 7 inches. It's like I still didn't notice it immediately. But then, like, as the days tick by, you start to notice everything's too small. You stand next to people you've stood next to before, and I'm like looking down like this now, and that's a very amazing feeling. And then I stood next to people that were my old height exactly, and they're like right here to me.
And welcome back to the fact.
Man, oh man, listen. Shout out to you, Bo. Listen, you know what you wanted. You went out, you did it. So, man, if it makes you happy, I'm happy for you. But it just sounds like a lot. Then again, that's not my burden to bear. I'm already over 6 feet, so I don't know, what it's like to be short like that at this stage in my life. But it's a real thing because he's not the first person to have it, and it seems like they've practiced this and they've already got it out there to where they're selling it. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm gonna go back to the first thing you said, where that one girl said she wished she was a little bit taller, she wished you were a little bit older. Man, if you had over $100,000 to spend on this surgery, you probably could have had the pick of the litter, right? There was a level of woman there for you. You're a military man, you had it. But you know what? Again, if you're happy, I'm happy for you. But it just seems like a lot. I don't think that I could put myself through that. Again, just the thought of breaking my bones in the upper legs and then in the lower legs, all 6 of those bones.
Now, at this point, are you walking on your own? I saw you on what appeared to be like almost a scooter or a walker.
Yes, a walker. Yes.
So are you still using that?
I transition between different devices. I can walk on my own, but just for safety purposes, I use crutches when I'm out and about. And whenever I need to carry stuff around, I use my walker. Like when I go to the gym, that's mainly when I use it. So I can like transport weights back and forth.
And is there still pain today in some form or fashion?
I have not had any pain in the last 2 months.
And apparently that's wonderful. That feels great to you. Have you faced any criticism for people who said, you know, why do you want to be tall? You know, this is the way you were born. You should live this way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of people say I didn't love myself, which I didn't love my height. So that's true. But I did love myself. And I've always had high self-esteem in areas, just not in height. Like,
and
really,
how has life changed for you as a result of now being 7 inches taller?
it's been a huge change. It's been a huge change for me, mainly because so much is going on at once. Because I decided to go public with my story, I'm getting like so many opportunities that I never even dreamed possible. I went from just being a regular guy to being known all over America, and actually all over the world now. I've gone viral worldwide numerous times at this point. So,
and what would be some of those opportunities that we'd say, wow?
So most of them, as of right now, are actually I am getting information or details about a company that wants to like do a show like about me. I'm getting like opportunities even from overseas. Like overseas is calling me. I get to do interviews there. I get to do like different. Someone asked me to do like matchmaking classes, things like that. Yeah, that one's funny.
You're like, how did you put me with that?
It's hard to name every single thing because it's been so consistent, and I've been more busy than I was in the military. Actually, I was in the military 8 years.
And would you recommend it for anyone who may feel like, hey, I want to be taller. I feel like I'm taller internally, so I need to be taller. And there's a surgery out there. Would you recommend it for them?
Yeah, I say it takes a certain level of discipline and dedication because unfortunately, this is a costly surgery. And I've seen people, you know, not make it that far because it's painful, it's hard. So I get it. I'm not judging these people, but that pain doesn't go away. Like it gets better over time, but you're in pain pretty much the entire time. Me, I did it twice, so it's 6 months. And you to undergo that for that long, it has to be a certain level of dedication and discipline to tell yourself, don't quit, just keep going.
My man did what he had to do. He said it was a level of dedication that you had to go through to endure this surgery. And you know, there's always going to be pain. The pain's going to be there. He did it twice, so he went through it for 6 months. And you know, I would say he did something that many people would probably say it's extreme, right? And he's gathering these new opportunities from overseas and here stateside. And we know extreme things. America's going to pay for that. Right? He says he's not feeling pain today. He has the height. And I mean, shoot, if he's happy, I'm happy for him, man. Now, I don't see myself doing something like that. But again, there's something for everybody. So if this is something that you would do, leave it in the comments. Tell me if you go through the pain of becoming a little bit taller because the surgery is out there for you. We had this conversation, but I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button, hit a like button, share it with a friend, and let's keep the conversation moving forward, man. Until the next time, I'm out.